All right, in number 3, they're asking us to find the rate of change of the function, the cube root of x, with respect to x at 3 different values of x. And if you're sharp at all, you might wonder why they chose those 3 values of x right there and what those 3 numbers have in common. They all seem to be perfect cubes. So I wonder if that might be relevant here. Okay, just like in problem number 1, we're going to try to make a function out of this. So I'm just going to call this thing, we're not really measuring anything, so let's just call it f of x is equal to the cube root of x. That's what we'll name our function. And we want to find its rate of change or its derivative at these 3 values of x. So you can't find f prime of 1 or 3 or 8 or 27 without first finding the general derivative f prime of x. And to do this, everybody, I'm going to go back up and I'm going to rewrite the original function, not with a radical, which isn't that helpful when I'm trying to differentiate, but rather with a fractional exponent here. The original function is x to the 1/3. And now we can just invoke the power rule. Its derivative then is going to be a 1/3 times x, and the power would be 1/3 minus 1, which is a negative 2/3. So that's how we would find that derivative. However, since we have to evaluate it, I think it would probably be a good idea to put this back in a format that was a little bit easier to deal with. The 1/3 out in front is going to give me a 1 on the top and a 3 on the bottom, and then the x to the negative 2/3, because it's a negative power, it'll go underneath the fraction. The 3 in the denominator makes this a cube root of x, and the square now, everybody, from that exponent right there, can either go right here or it can go out here, not both. And since those numbers they gave me happened to be perfect cubes, I think it's a better idea to do the cube root of those numbers first, which will make them much smaller, and then square that result. So I'm pretty happy with this expression right here of our derivative. So now here we go, guys. F prime of 1 is the first thing they wanted us to find. So that's going to be a 1/3. And then this is what? The cube root of 1, which is 1 squared, which is still going to be 1. We're going to get an answer of 1/3 for the first question here. Now, f prime of 8. So we'll put an 8 in for x. 1/3 times the cube root of 8, and then we were going to square all of that. Well, what does that do for us? The cube root of 8 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. That gives us an answer of 1/12 for question number 2. And I think I see where this is going. F prime of 27 is going to be here a 1 over, we've got 3, and now in parentheses, this will be the cube root of 27, and all of that will be squared. All right, so the cube root of 27 is 3. 3 squared is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So we'll get a 1/27 for the answer to the third part, and that's number 3.